don't find a justifiable explanation as to why. That night, that morning, you said, I'm going to get this gun and I'm going to kill them.
Little Rock police detectives are working to figure it out, too.
A double homicide shocks a quiet neighborhood. A mother and her son killed earlier this week, and tonight the man accused of the crime is behind bars.
The Wednesday started like any other, a sunny and peaceful day for the neighbors of Nichols Road.
I just moved to this neighborhood and it's been decent and quiet.
Raven Miller has only been here a few months. She says it's so quiet, it's rare to even see kids playing in the street. But Miller's peace was shattered at the first sight of crime scene tape.
The first that I saw, and I was kind of like, what's going on?
What police would tell her changed her view of the neighborhood into one marked by tragedy.
Unfortunately, when we got here, officers did locate 2 deceased individuals.
Just after 3 o'clock, a shooting call came in for the 1800 block of Nichols Road. When police arrived, they found 2 people dead and questions needing to be answered.
We're hopeful someone in the community maybe can share some information with us to lead to who's responsible for this homicide.
For neighbors like Miller, the crime came as a shock.
No idea what's going on, just confused. Do I need to move?
And a tragedy for neighbors she didn't even get the chance to know.
I hope everything works out and they get justice and figure out what's going on.
As for the suspect, police were able to track this man down. He's been identified as 24-year-old Malcolm Esther. He was arrested not long after the victims were found. He remains behind bars at the Pulaski County Jail, where he now faces 2 counts of capital murder. According to his arrest report, he confessed to the murders. The mother of Shantara Salter is in a state of belief, or disbelief, I should say, and that's understandably so. Not only did she lose her daughter, she lost her grandson, and she has no idea why someone would commit such a horrible crime. Hunter Hoagland continues our team coverage with reaction from the grieving mother.
Pray for strength.
Praying for healing is the easy part.
Absolutely.
But finding the strength to forgive
It comes in time.
is always much harder.
I don't find a justifiable explanation as to why. That night, that morning, you said, I'm going to get this gun and I'm going to kill them.
Little Rock police detectives are working to figure it out, too. Arrest records show this man, Malcolm Esther, confessed to shooting and killing Shantara Salter and her 8-year-old son, Jamichael Petty, Wednesday on Nichols Road.
I'm angry because it was my niece and my nephew, but I'm angry because he chose that it was time for them to leave.
Emily Atkinson knows the mother-son duo better than most.
I named her. Yeah. I always tell people I saw her before her mama did. I was in the hospital room.
From that small baby in a hospital room, Shantara, known to the family as Terry, had always lit up a room, now with a son of her own. Those big dreams ending 24 hours ago.
Haven't gained a good angel this time.
Atkinson says Terry had ended her relationship with Esther 2 days before police would accuse him as their killer.
It's sad, you know, I don't think love should make no one want to kill nobody.
With no answers as to why, Terry's family will look to faith for answers and hope the man who police say pulled the trigger will do the same.
Just pray that great day when God sees you, he forgives you for what you did.
That was Hunter Hoagland reporting. The Little Rock School District, meanwhile, did release a statement on the death of Jamichael Petty, saying in part, "It is never easy to process death, especially when it involves someone as young and promising as Jamichael. LRSD mourns his loss and extends deepest sympathy to his family, friends, classmates, and teachers." Her daughter and grandson were murdered in a Little Rock double homicide. Our Hunter Hoagland talked to the mother and shares their story tonight. Hunter?
Yeah, Kevin, this is Shantara Salter and her son, Jamichael. Salter's mom tells me she knew something was wrong immediately when Jamichael didn't show up for school. I talked to her tonight after police say her daughter's ex-boyfriend confessed to the killings.
Nothing prepares you for nothing like this.
It's not easy for Sharita Salter to talk about something she says no mom should ever have to see.
There's nothing in the parent handbook.
Walking in to discover your daughter and her 8-year-old son.
I saw my baby on the ground.
Both dead.
I don't think there's nothing nobody can tell me mentally that can help me with this. Nothing prepares you for something like this.
Investigators say Shantara Salter and her third grader Jamichael were shot and killed last week in their West Little Rock home. But it was the next day when Salter's mom found their bodies.
And when I touched him, he was hard.
Police say Malcolm Esther, who was seen in this booking video, confessed to the killings days later. But these court documents expose more details, showing the two recently had a relationship. And Esther admitted to shooting Salter twice following an argument after her son said, "Don't do it, Malcolm."
This man took my world. He took my world.
Investigators say Esther then confessed to turning the gun on Jamichael, telling people it was because the little boy got in the way trying to stop him and he didn't want to witness.
You say you killed the baby because you didn't want to witness, but yet you turned yourself in. Does that make any sense? No, your intent was to kill everybody in that house except for yourself.
It's a tragedy this family says they'll never be able to make sense of. Now left waiting to see if this arrest will bring a conviction.
My babies are all I got, and he took that away from me.
Malcolm is being held without bond at the Pulaski County Detention Center on 2 counts of capital murder. He's scheduled to be back in court in November. As for Shantara and Jamichael, their funeral is this Saturday.
And October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but domestic violence situations happen all year round. Just last month, you might remember, we reported about a mother and her son that were shot and killed after she broke things off with an ex-boyfriend. THV 11's Jade Jackson spoke with the family as they said their final goodbyes.
1 in 3 women will be victims of domestic violence. That's the national average, keeping in mind that most domestic violence situations aren't reported. 32-year-old Shantara Salter's family said they had no idea the severity of her relationship with ex-boyfriend Malcolm Esther, only that she broke up with him one Monday, September 13th, and that Wednesday, she and her son were gone. Emotional cries from broken hearts fill a church as family, friends, and supporters cry for the loss of life. It's the last time they get to say goodbye to their everything. 32-year-old Shantara Salter.
Terry would just be like, "Hey, Pap, that's my cousin, that's my cousin." I mean, she was just so extra. And it was like, we would, talk about everything. And she was everything.
And her 8-year-old son, Jamichael Petty.
Jamichael, the boy was everything. He was like a little chocolate teddy bear. He was so sweet. JT was everything. And then the last before COVID, we had our last little Thanksgiving at my house in Texas. And he was like, "My mama can't cook, she just cook chicken."
They were both shot and killed at home last month in Little Rock by Salter's ex-boyfriend, Malcolm Esther. Family members say she had just decided to leave Esther before the double homicide, a common theme for abusers according to the Arkansas Coalition Against Domestic Violence.
If they're thinking about leaving a situation, victims are 75 times more likely to be killed while they're leaving or in the short time following leaving their abusers.
Esther had previously had run-ins with the law. Another woman filed an order of protection against him before the killings in 2019, stating, "He snatched my phone out of my hand to see who I was texting. We were not in a relationship. He follows me and has sent threatening text messages."
People who have lost someone to domestic violence, they're probably going to question everything that they knew before. They're going to go over and over in their mind. What could they have done? What might have been different?
Amongst the crowd of the cries, 10-year-old Tyriana sits silent. It's her mother and little brother, her everything, lying in their caskets.
You did not do anything wrong. The wrongdoing was 100% on the part of the person who did it,
who she now has to say goodbye to. Family members are starting a nonprofit in their honor called Shantay Speaks, in hopes to bring awareness to domestic violence victims after they seek justice for their murders.